We have earlier seen that whenever a company makes a profit, that is net income, it has two options. Out of this profit, it can either distribute to the shareholders, and when they distribute, this is called as dividends, and they can either ways retain within the firm and invest, and this is called as retained earnings. So we have seen this flow of dividends and retained earnings. So say for example, if net income was 100 and the dividends that was declared was 20, so the remaining 80 actually got as retained earnings, and this would be classified as dividends. So let us introduce ourselves to a couple of ratios associated with this. What will be the dividend payout ratio in this case? Dividend payout ratio. Now think about it, it's very simple. It would be simply dividends that you have paid divided by your net income. So that will be defined as 20 divided by 100. So here in this case your dividend payout ratio is 20%. What about your retention ratio? How much you have retained? Retention ratio would be nothing but 80, the remaining portion, divided by 100. So this comes out to be 80%. And obviously there is a link between retention ratio and dividends payout ratio. Retention ratio can be written as 1 minus the dividend payout ratio. So if you have any one of the ratios, you can calculate the other. So here in the above case, we have this as 1 minus 20%. So this can be directly calculated as 80%. So this is what we understand by the retention ratio. Now, having looked at this, there is a concept of sustainable growth rates. Now, what do we really understand by sustainable growth rate? Sustainable growth rate is that growth rate where a firm can grow without any external help or issuances of equity. So without any external equity issuances or debt issuances. So without any help of these two, the firm will be able to sustain a specific amount of growth. And this is defined as G, which is equal to your retention ratio, RR, retention ratio multiplied by the return on equity. Now just ponder about it for a moment. Retention ratio is the amount that you plan to invest in the firm. So this will be a percentage amount. So this is 80% in our case, 80%. And what is ROE? Return on equity is defined in percentage. So if I have invested $1, how much percentage am I able to generate in terms of my return is defined as ROE. So say for example, if ROE was 20%, my sustainable growth rate would be 80% of this ROE, that is 0.8 multiplied by 0.2, that will be equal to 0.16, that is 16% will be my sustainable growth rate. So please understand this, it depends on two things: one, retention ratio, and second, what is the ROE of the company.